Thank you. Right, there you go, gang. G'day, gang. Okay, so this Hyundai we've been having problems with. The engine shop said his opinion is that the gasket there was nothing about its thickness or anything like that. That the so the black stuff's all come off it. That's like a glue. And he said that's where the problem is. That's come off, and that's why the gasket's failed. But the problem is that the gasket itself was leaking from. You know, that's how it was in the block. Remember? That's where we could see it coming up through there. Well, this side has still got all its stuff on it. You know, so that theory in my mind is out the window. Anyway, this gasket here, the original, weighs about half of this gasket. This is actually 4 layers. Says there it's a Nason brand, or maybe made for Nason, I don't know. It says it's made in Korea, and it's for a Kia Sorento diesel or the Hyundai D4CB double overhead cam 16 valve common rail diesel injected, like that. Anyway, we've been here, if you've been watching for a while, we've been down this track before. Head gasket manufacturers say and suggest we don't put anything on the gasket. As it is, clean, dry, 2 clean, dry services. Head bolt holes cleaned out, you know, clear of oil and schmutz and muck. Then follow the steps, blah, blah, blah. Well, back when I used to be building engines a bit, or at least one of the places I worked at, we'd get a sub-assembly in for and put a cylinder head on it, you know what I mean, before it went in a car. And we had it was called something else back in the day. It was called Permatex 3J, but this essentially is the same thing. Loctite aviation gasket sealant. It's got to be the non-hardening one. And I used to have a paintbrush. It was like a 6-inch or 4-inch paintbrush, and it had a bucket of it. I went to scale, and there we go. Slop across the block, and slop across the head. Whack the gasket down, whack the head on, bolt it down. Bob's your uncle. So I know people are saying, you know, spray it with copper coat, spray it with this, put a bit of that. That's the stuff I've been using for 45 years. Well, it's had name changes. It's probably like what Americans have, Indian shellac or something like that. I suppose it's probably the same sort of stuff. Stays soft up. So that's where we're at, and I guess that's what's going to happen today. I'm just going to plod along with it. Clean this all up. It's all nice and clean now. All the holes are all dry and clean. And I'm going to put some schmutz around it, gasket on, and throw the head back on it. There we go. That's pretty much all I really want to do. Just around the water and around the sides here. Oh, I need to put a bit more there. There's not a lot on there really. There's not a lot. Would be alright. I only want it around those galleries and those jackets and stuff like that, so. Okay. Yep. Whack the gasket down on it. That'll do. That's pretty much all we want. Do your best, don't get it on the piston, because if you get a sizable amount on there, when it does finally ignite and it'll turn this stuff into a big hard ball, and it'll bounce around and make a bit of a racket for a moment, and you'll just go, ah! But at any rate, okay, I'm going to whack the head on it now and proceed to bolt it all in, I guess. And because they are torque to yield, I'll replace the head bolts. I'll put brand new ones in there. The other ones could cope, but I'll tell you what, the torque on these bolts is massive. I'll have to go and look up what the actual torque is now, but it's a lot. Bit of oil under the, you know how it goes. Just run these down, and then we'll torque them up. Round and round. Round and round. Yeah, I know. I'm not going back and forwards, No. Dit. No, I'm going round the circle. Always done it. Bam. Torque time. Now it's just a lucky dip. No, not that big yet. So there we are. This is our engine. 49 newtons, 120 degrees plus 90 degrees. That's yeah. Let's put a bit of load on that bolt. At any rate, we'll get that all torqued down and move on. Get it all put back together, hopefully this afternoon. There we go, we're all down to 49 newton meters. You guys know the drill. You know, I marked the head bolts. Then we're going to swing around 120. Remember, that's 90. That's 180. So we're going to be, you know, I'll just double check that, exactly whereabouts it's going to be. Yes, I know, degree wheels and blah 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 and such and such. Look, half the time there's nowhere to put that shit, and it's just a pain in the ass to use. So, yep, we're probably going to be about 4 o'clock, somewhere around there. And then we're 90 degrees from there, so that's an easy one, 90 degrees from there. Too easy. So I'm going to go through that procedure now. Yeah, so 120 degrees is like about 330. That'll do. That'll, you know, I'll be all right with that. Then we'll throw 90 onto that, which will bring us over here. So yeah, let's go around. At the moment I can do it just a bar on its own. Get me situated. We'll go more. About there. I'm gonna have to get a longer breaker bar, especially when it comes to the extra 90. I told you there's some on them. There we go. We're all about 3:30. Pretty close. Now we just got an easy 90. We don't even need to follow the marks. We'll just take it from here. Easy 90. It's easy to work out. Yeah. I won't be able to pull on that with the. I'll revert to a bit of pipe on the end of here. And around we go. Yep, I'm happy with that. So that'll be 7:30, somewhere around there. 8 o'clock, there we go. We'll call it 8 o'clock. I'll go around and do the rest of them. There we go. Yep. Time to whack the rockers in. And just quietly, you can't mess about with it too much because we've got silicone in here, on the back of this. So we need to make sure that this stuff goes in before it all goes off. We've got to put the cam in now. Oh, the lifter's in. Then slide the cam and its carrier in there. And then there's another section that goes across the front here and houses it all in. So yeah, we'll move on. So the rockers are two different lengths. A long one, pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, a short one, pretty self-explanatory. Doesn't matter whether it goes outside or this side. Yeah. So you get a long and short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. And that's how they look. They'll just sit like that, and then the cams, this whole schmozzle here, I've got to feed that down in through here, and then we can put the rest of the schmozzle on. So yeah, so it kind of sits in there like that. We're just going to go and make sure that all the rockers are not being turned on their sides or something silly like that. Everything appears to be in its place, or it should be. Yep. Okay, so we'll bolt all this down. So lucky for us, the cam caps are numbered. That says I3, so that'll be 1, 2, 3 inlet facing forward there. This is that says rear, so he's going to go at the back there somewhere. That says I2, E3, all facing forward properly. I think that's E1. Hang on, that can't be right. That means that's got to be 3 there. I1. Moving back. E4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rear. Yeah. What's missing? Exhaust 2. There we go. Bam. So we'll just rattle him down. I never worry about turning the cams and stuff like that whilst I'm turning them, pulling them down. Just try and pull them down nice and evenly. You don't want to go breaking things and stripping bolts and breaking camshafts and munting up stuff. So I've been up and back, to and fro, here and there, hither and yonder. Just evenly back and forwards. Don't go crazy on the tightness of them. You know, they're only little bolts. They're not holding the planet together. Next we'll pack this bit on. He goes in the front here. He goes in the front there. Rattle him down. Happy days. Oh, and then I can put the rest of the bolts in the front. So now I'm going to take the vacuum pump while this, you see there's a cap goes over that there. Put the vacuum pump in first. Just line him up like so. Vacuum pump goes in like that. We'll put the top over there. There's a bolt goes in at the bottom underneath there. There's one at there and one here. So I'll put a bit of silicone on there first. That's from the last time. Just a little wipe. I guess you blokes know when I talk of silicone, I'm using this grey. Oh bloody hell! Grey. Where are we? There we go. This is the stuff I like to use. Okay, so now we'll swing the timing chain on. It's going to need more than one hand, but yeah, going to need more than one hand. There we go. She's on. Squeeze the tensioner in there, nice and easy. Bleeding all the oil out of it so I can get it back. The reason is because I've got these, you know, these pins that I use, that I get in the belt kits. That's going to go in there when she gets to gets to the end of it up here. I might have to put something else in there yet. Yeah. Yep. I can't get her in deep enough. Yeah. Just like that. There we are. Pull that out. Now I'll just go over over these two bolts here, make sure they're tight, and we're done on this. Well, we'll put the cover back on then. Yep. Just enough of the grey shit to just start squirting out. You don't want a lot, because whatever you see on the outside, it's probably going to be on the inside too. But that's cool. That bit's all done. Valve cover. I'll put the valve cover and all that on now, I suppose, and that'll be that sealed up for tonight before I go home. Okay, that's looking all right. Now I'm just going to fit this EGR cooler down in there, so I can put it around the back of that. Now I'll put the inlet manifold on. Somewhere kind of like that. Do all the bolts up, attach the EGR cooler to the manifold, blah 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 blah. Just carry on. Yeah, it's starting to resemble an engine now. We got things to bolt on. It's all happening. It's all happening. There's another. Where are we? Here we go. Oh, that'll be with the wires. Da, 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 da. Couple of bolts with there. Da, da. Like this fella in here. Yeah. It doesn't take long before, starts resembling what it used to be. Okay, that's for the alternator. Tum on there. Yeah. Yep. All coming along all right. So the next bit's a bit of a bugger because we've got to put the manifold on. As you can see, I've already got the turbo sitting in its loosely in its position. Nothing's really done up tight. A couple of hose clamps down here done up. We're sitting in the flange down the bottom here, and now we've got to line up the EGR. We'll pop his gasket on there, wherever that is, and that bolts into the back of the manifold there, and then these go onto the cylinder head. And yeah, so as you'll see, I've got no studs in that, so I'll be able to just slide it down over the top. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Certainly beginning to look like an engine again. Both sides are done now. I have the flange to do underneath. I have an oil filter to do underneath. That'll happen at the same time. And now it's just a matter of putting the front stuff back on it. And yeah, we're going all right. Nearly time to knock off, but so I have a new thermostat. It lives in here, but because I've got to flush all that milky gunk out of there, we'll leave the thermostat out of it for a bit. We'll also leave the coolant out of it when it comes time to put the front back in it. And then when I'm happy we've got all that muck out of it, then we'll give it the thermostat and give it the inhibitor. Yeah.